when trying to take over the world goes wrong. Once upon a time, in a world not so very long ago, there was a man named Adolf Hitler. He was not a man of great stature or charm, but he possessed an extraordinary talent for stirring hearts and minds with his fiery speeches and grand promises. Imagine a world filled with the sweet sounds of peace and the gentle hum of everyday life, and then imagine it shattered by the dark ambitions of one man. The story begins in the quaint, picturesque land of Austria, where he was born in 1889. As a young boy, he dreamed of not ruling the world, but of painting it. Alas, his artistic dreams were dashed and his path took a sinister turn. He moved to Germany, a country grappling with the aftermath of the Great War, and there he found his stage. In the early 1920s, Hitler joined a small, obscure political group called the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or the Nazis. With a blend of charisma and ruthlessness, he rose to its helm. The Weimar Republic, struggling with economic woes and political instability, provided fertile ground for his ideas to take root. He promised to restore Germany's lost glory, to make it powerful and respected once more. The people listened, desperate for hope, and they followed him. In 1933, Hitler had maneuvered himself into the position of Chancellor of Germany. It was a position of power, but not yet the ultimate prize. Through a combination of political cunning and brutal suppression of his opponents, he swiftly consolidated his power, declaring himself Führer, the supreme leader. The man who once dreamed of painting sunsets now painted a far darker canvas. Hitler's grand vision was to create a vast empire, a Third Reich that would last 1,000 years. He believed in a pure Aryan race and sought to eliminate all those he deemed inferior. The world watched in horror as he led his nation into a war that would engulf the globe. In 1939, when the storm broke, Germany invaded Poland, and with it, World War II began. Hitler's army swept through Europe with terrifying speed, conquering nations and spreading his twisted ideology. For a time, it seemed as though his dream of domination might become a nightmarish reality. But like all dark fairy tales, this one had its turning point. Hitler, intoxicated by his early successes, made a fateful mistake. In 1941, he turned his gaze eastward, towards the vast, frozen expanse of the Soviet Union. He believed it would be a swift and glorious victory, but he had underestimated the harsh Russian winter and the resilience of its people. The Battle of Stalingrad in 1942 to 1943 was a devastating blow. Hitler's once invincible army was bogged down, surrounded, and ultimately defeated. The tide of war began to turn. The Allies, united against a common threat, launched a massive invasion of Nazi-occupied France on D-Day, June 6, 1944. The fortress Hitler had built began to crumble from all sides. By April 1945, the end was near. Berlin, the heart of Hitler's empire, was encircled. In his underground bunker, the man who sought to rule the world faced the reality of total defeat. Refusing to surrender, he took his own life, a tragic and fitting end to his dark tale. His attempt to take over the world had failed spectacularly. His grandiose dreams had brought unimaginable suffering and devastation. The world he left behind was scarred but resilient, ready to rebuild. Do you think there is anyone else who failed at almost taking over the world like Hitler? And if so, then who? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching, and stay weird.